Hello everyone, it's Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life. I apologize if you can hear any background noise. It is Sunday and everybody is home. I wanted to share with you the breakdown of this layout. So I watched Christina do this with her beautiful layout that she did of her son and the Disney layout she had created, and I loved how she broke down each little step that she did. So I thought I would do that as well. If you want to see the actual process for this, you can check it out over on Spiegel Mom's Scraps channel. It is uploading, it's there today, so go ahead and check that out and you can see me put it all together. But let me just show you kind of my idea here. So we're being challenged this week to use these sequins, and they're called Gotta Love Emojis. There's that. I'm sorry about the lighting too. Everything's kind of dim. I'm trying to get Nora to sleep. So it's this really beautiful yellow and pink and black. And so I'm not a big fan of emoji faces. I've just recently started using them in my own texting. So I wasn't going to do an emoji page. I kind of knew that. But what I did think about was these colors really say sunshine and summer to me. So I simply started by not even deciding what I was going to do with my sequins, but just doing mixed media on a white sheet of pattern paper from American Crafts. That's the only thing I went to. So I went and I grabbed different forms. I did a little bit of watercolor and a little bit of shimmers, and I just placed it down to the packaging technique and a little bit of splatters. And some black. So I've got all three colors represented on here. The two tones I have are in the yellow. The pink is two-tone, but really the two-tone is just in a couple spots. And then from there, I decided on a title that I wanted to use called Sunshine, Coffee, and You. So I was like, oh, perfect. I have the perfect photo for that. And that's this one right here of my sweet little girl sticking her tongue out. And this is actually a recent photo, so I had to go get it printed from my local printing shop, London Drugs, and I wasn't sure if I was going to use a larger print or a smaller one, so I printed them in two sizes, and I also had two different filters. So this is the original photo, and this is the filter that I used on Instagram. I preferred the filter, so I used that. But I wasn't sure, so if I wanted a smaller photo, I could have used that. I had them on hand there. And then I also grabbed this little Instagram photo that I've taken. These are actually completely different days, but that's okay. And I've had this, and I wasn't really sure how I was going to scrap this anyway, but it fit in with the title I wanted to use. So that was where I got my photos from. And then the second step to doing all of that is I also knew that I had this piece of pattern paper that it was the last sheet of something I needed to use, which is this piece right here. It was basically my last sheet of pattern paper. I was challenging myself to get used up before the end of June, even though now it's into July, it still kind of works. So I fussy cut a couple of those out, placed them to kind of be side by side. I liked the embellishment that brought to my page and figured that was going to work really well. And again, it kind of had that pinky tone. There's some orange to it, but that's okay. I kind of just ignored that, and really that made it so that I could bring in the color that I wanted to bring in with the gold here. So that's how I went there. And then I went back to the fact that I'm talking about sunshine. So how cool would it be to paint a sunshine? But I didn't want to paint it yellow because I already had a lot of yellow on my page, and I kind of thought that this layout needed a little more pink, so I snapped a quick picture and posted it to my little scrappy tribe that I talk to all the time, and they said yes, more pink. So I used my pencil to kind of just make my own sun. I did watercolor in pink and then laid down my sequins, and then hand stitched some of the yellow, and then added black and yellow for some more rays. I love the way that turned out. That it's definitely the highlight of this layout, which I really enjoy. And then I actually worked on gluing down my title. I did sunshine and gold because I thought that was really relevant. Coffee I did in black. Sorry about Nora, because There's black in the sequence, so it probably should have been brown to kind of represent the color of coffee, but instead I decided to tie it in with the black. And I used you in this shiny white to represent that I didn't want to add in another color. And I just happened to find this this awesome little acrylic piece that I can never think of where it's from, but there will be a link below. And that's where that came from. And then this gold I also had on hand in some of the thickers I'm trying to use up. All of these are thickers I've been trying to use up. So that just kind of fit there. So that's how I was able to get my title done. I then decided that there was kind of too much going on. Like there was too much white space going on here, and there was pink here and pink here, but it needed something else. So that's how I came up with the idea to border it, do a side border. And I did this a lot where I just do it on this side and this side, or this side and this side, and just do two-sided. I like the way that looks, more so than having it completely matted. It's just a personal preference for me. And then basically I could have called that done, and I almost did, except I have recently learned that Jody is discontinuing the cork and the felt that she has in her shop. And so talking about that made me think about them and think about clouds. And you have to have clouds on a layout about summer. So I just added in my cork clouds and my felt clouds, a felt heart here and here. And I was really happy with that. Kind of let it be. I waved goodbye. This is where my camera ends on my process video. And then I went back after looking at it, and like there's just a couple things missing. So I went down here and added some pops of pink and a little bit of black. I also added this little bit of black right here so that, again, that vertical triangle I love to do so much is in black going on there. I added the pineapple just as a kind of representation to the fact that this is a summery layout. And I also added this little tag up here. It was just a scrap I had. I have this beautiful little bowl of really yummy goody things that I am trying to dig through and use up. So that works. I also have this coffee mug thing, but it's the complete wrong color tone, or that would have been used as well. And that really, once I had those pieces on, I was happy. So happy. I also added this little geotag just to kind of, I don't know, it just fit there. I needed a third element into that little cluster by my journaling, so that fit perfectly. And there you have it. That is how my thought process while I was doing this layout, and it did take me a while. It was about I think I stood at this table 4 times before I got this layout done. It was a multiple day layout. That happens with me sometimes, especially with 2 little ones. It's not always possible to just sit and scrap all day, although I would love to. This probably wasn't the longest layout ever, though. If you really just added all the time up together, you're probably looking at about an hour. Most of my layouts are, if you really just broke it down, take me about an hour and a half to do. So I hope you enjoyed this kind of more in-depth look on how I created this layout. If you have any questions, please leave them below, and I will have a link to this beautiful company that I cannot think of, Jody's shop, and the process video if you want to just check out the process for this. Thanks everyone so much for watching. Bye!